can use as many strings as you want, although I recommend using at least 3 because that's what looks the best in my opinion. These 3 strings are 50 inches each, but if you have a smaller wrist, I would recommend using a few less inches. Okay, so I have grouped all of my strings together. Now I'm just going to fold them in half, like meet the ends together, and then make a knot at the looped end. And then I'm going to tape this down. So I have it taped down and I've separated one of my red strings. This string that you pull out of the bunch will be the first color, like how here it's blue. I'm going to be using the red one first. You're going to create a 4 over your strings and then pull this through the loop and pull it up to the top and tighten it. And then you're going to make another 4 and pull that through there. And continue doing this. This is just a forward knot. As you make knots, the knots, like to make the correct spiral, you have to kind of change where you're knotting to. So it started out over here, but now the string is more over here. So then I like to pull the string through with my other hand so that it's easier to make a knot going this way. Basically, you have to move the way you're knotting with the spiral, otherwise it's going to be really messy and you're not going to get a spiral. The closer that you get to basically the back of your threads, you're going to just want to hold up your other strings a little bit more so that you can create a better knot. And then after it gets to a certain point, you can go back to using your other hand. Obviously, you can use whichever hand you want when you're doing this, but I do like to switch hands depending on which side of the bracelet the knot is on. Okay, so now I'm ready to switch to my next color. I'm going to use blue as my next color. When you're making your blocks of color, you can either count how many knots you do so that every block of color is perfectly equal, or is what I like to do is just count that there's essentially 2.5 spirals for the red, so I'm gonna do 2.5 spirals for the rest of them. They don't have to be equal. As long as they're close enough, nobody's gonna notice anyways. So I'm just gonna put the string over there. Take your next string, make the 4, hold it up, and then grab the end and pull it. And I always try to when I did the last red knot, I did it right over where the blue string begun so that I'd be able to make the knot right where that ended, if that makes sense, so that the spiral continues throughout the colors. So I have gotten the bracelet as long as I want it. Now I'm just going to make a knot at the end. That's it for this video. If you have any questions, ask me in the comments down below. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.